Also, since I'm in the mood for videos, two in one day, silver and gold. Waterfall smash yesterday. Silver was down $1 at one point. I think it closed around 74 cents down. Gold was hit, I don't know the exact amount, it was hit hard too. So, back in the day, you might get a little emotional about that. Oh, damn it! You know, it still bothers you when someone's basically robbing you right in front of your face, and you go to the authorities, so to speak, the CFTC, and say, "Hey, I just got robbed," and then the authorities say, "Nah, we looked into it. We didn't see any I've got stab wounds. My bank account. You look at it. You can see where I took $500 out of the ATM. Stole it from me. I know who did it." Yeah. No, we don't have anything here. Have a nice day. Didn't see anything here. Take care. How does that make you feel when you go to the authorities, as they like to be called? And that's the answer. Because that's what happens when you go to the CFTC to say, "Hey, market riggers are rigging it today." The CFTC has the same problem everywhere else has, and that is the top officials there are the banking club members. And that is their role to make sure commodities prices are always controlled, and that anyone who ever gets the bright idea, "I don't trust the paper fiat system, I want something a hard asset," during the time when you're going to have that feeling of, "Okay, I think I need to get into some hard assets. Let me look at the price of, gold and silver got whacked today for what? Shouldn't they be going up? Greece problems and not Puerto Rico, and how the hell did that drop $1 for silver and 30 whatever it was dollars for gold?" I guess I better not get into that. I better stay away. Except a funny thing happened. It's a funny thing I told you would happen and has happened before. U.S. Mint sold out of Silver Eagles, will not be taking orders until August. Okay. So once again, U.S. Mint, you've broken the law. You must at all times keep enough silver for investment or whatever purposes, for public demand, public consumption, whatever they want to do with it. You must keep enough supply of these precious metals for the public's use, again, for whatever they feel like doing with it. You want to invest in it, you want to give it to someone for a present, whatever the hell reason. How many times is this now made that the U.S. Mint has broken the law? Which means nothing, because nothing will happen. But it goes to show you, I said that every time they push down on precious metals nowadays, you watch what happens. They get a taste of the double-edged sword. You want to scare people out of the market, get out of that market, don't play with gold and silver, we're going to push the price down on you, make you feel some pain. What does the public respond to that? How do they respond to that? "Oh, well, that's fine, thanks for the price discount, I'm going to go buy the real thing." And they cleaned out the mint again. How many times has this happened over the last few years? And I was reading this article yesterday that said a funny thing has been noticed that has never been noticed before in the silver market. There's a stat, I'm not sure where you got it from, that shows how much silver countries, governments, have sold in the marketplace. And since sometime last year, I think, it may have been late last year, I don't recall, that number is now 0. Never before has the number been 0 ever. Some country is selling somewhere. Some government is selling somewhere. Not now, not anymore. Gold, on the other hand, according to the same numbers, do show that countries are still selling it. Now, granted, and we know, you could argue, they're selling leases on somebody else's gold to some other country, not necessarily really the gold. Yet you'd be correct on that. We're selling a paper promise of gold to some country, not the real thing. However, for whatever reason with silver, none of it's being sold by governments. And as you know, especially India in recent times, has been buying unbelievable amounts of silver. So keep this in mind, as I just did the video before this, talked about how they privatize countries and, you know, their assets, and like Greece, and, you know, the Confessions of an Economic Hitman, that he explains exactly how they do it. They did the same thing in Greece. They'll be doing it to these other countries. But if people want, or not people, if China, Russia, India, I mentioned how they started their own version of the IMF/World Bank, because they already see what those two entities do. They rape and pillage countries and put people in austerity. So China and Russia are the big bad. They're hackers. Mainstream media, a group of hackers from China apparently have gotten into save it CNN, and save it Fox News and MSNBC and CNBC and the rest of you turds. We don't buy that crap. China and Russia have decided we don't want our member countries, friends, etc., trading partners to have to deal with your crap. Number one, if they have any kind of economic hard times, it's going to affect us as trading partners. So we don't want that. So how can we help those countries not deal with that? We'll create our own World Bank/IMF. It's not going to be called the same, which they've already proceeded to do, by the way. And we will use that to basically help the world rather than destroy the world like the Western oligarchs are trying to do and control everything. And as I said, we're not going to have any part of that. We will be taking care of that. And again, it'll be an attack. Oh, they can blame it on some terror group. Maybe they'll blame it on China at some point. You know, who knows what they're going to do. But the bottom line is those same groups of countries are buying precious metals. As I said not too long ago, Russia just announced, not now just, but, you know, maybe a few weeks ago just announced, we want to increase our gold holdings by 40%. That is massive. For a country to say, whatever we have, we want 40% more. If Russia, China, didn't you see the waterfall drop yesterday in gold and silver? It was down 75 cents, ended the day at 75 cents or so. Didn't you guys see that? What are you doing? You don't want that. Come on. Not only do they want it, they want to come in now with both hands. In buckets. Give us all you can give us. And then the people of the world, in our own country too, because the U.S. Mint just sold out, the people aren't buying it. So the question is this the final hoorah of downward movement by the club? Is this the final hoorah? Because they're going to have to see two things. Guys, we did a hoorah to push the price down and see what the sentiment was, and guys, we just got screwed. The U.S. Mint sold out again. Everyone across the world is buying a ton of it right now because we dropped the price for them. It didn't scare them away. Damn it, now what are we going to do? Well, we can't do any more hurrahs because we just wasted our last one. Or did they? Because in the same article, they talk about how they feel, based on the open interest and the amount of paper contracts out there in the silver market, are the highest they've ever been, ever, in the history of the market. More contracts, paper contracts, of course, 200 and something, 6 or so, 7,000 contracts, open interest. And you know who owns the most of that. But there is a bunch of people, they said, that were piling on the shorts, and they believe it's the average speculator at this point who sees, oh, this is the low, or, you know, and they're expecting lower, so they're going to pile on. And they made a good case as to why the bankers, the club, JP Morgan and them, are actually going to take the long side this time, because you can never win against the bank who control the price. So they're going to make a bunch of money as the price goes up another $1 or $2, which wipes out all those speculators. Again, they got to keep everybody out of the market. So it remains to be seen whether that'll happen or not. But you know, that's honestly an opinion from the article I read. The other stuff I just talked about is not an opinion. That's a fact. So, you know, it would suck right now if I came out and said, you know, they just smashed the price of silver and gold, and numbers in the mint right now are saying They got plenty in stock. Actually, the demand has just decreased and blah, blah, blah. No. What happened is exactly what I said would happen. I said, you watch the price. This has been going on for the last few years of me saying it. Every time they smash the price, you're going to see an influx of buyers. It's not going to be the same old game they used to do where they smash it and scare everyone off. It's not going to happen this time. People are a lot more sophisticated, we're smarter, we're more intelligent, we have tools such as the internet to find information at lightning speed. None of this stuff existed before. They count on you being a dumb moron. And even way before that time, all of us were peasants. None of us had education, right? 1800s, 1700s. No one had education. Very few did. Only the rich did. The rest of us were just workers. We were basically slaves to everybody else. Now, tons of people just look at the massive college education loans that can't be paid back. Point being, a lot of college-educated people all over the place. We're not a bunch of morons, and I think the club has realized this, and that's why they want to push their pharmaceutical agendas down our throats and make us dumb down by taking their crap and their shots and everything else, which still doesn't matter because the proof is in the pudding. Did people get scared off recently from this downward push of precious metals prices? Hell no, they said I want more and then some. So powers that be, keep doing it. We want to see you bring it down to $3 an ounce. Powers that be, JP Morgan Chase, JSNIP4, by the powers invested in me through YouTube and my subscribers. I want to see if you got the balls to bring it down to $3 an ounce. You don't have the balls to bring price down to $3 an ounce. Let's see if you can do it. Because I'd love nothing more than to capitalize on that. Take care.